Park your car in a properly designated space. Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Coffee with Father James. I'm coming to you from the parking lot at St. Peter's location, and I am drinking today from my Sydney, Australia coffee mug. You see the Sydney Bridge, the Australian flag, the Sydney Opera House, and we've got a Volkswagen van and a surfboard, the kangaroo sign. Now, I was in Sydney last February. I was just outside of Sydney, and we did a Divine Renovation conference there last year, which was a wonderful experience. And I was given this mug as a gift. And the reason I decided to use this mug today is because of the Volkswagen bus parked right here below the sign. Because this week, I want to talk to you about parking spaces. Parking spaces, that's right. Now, why on earth would I want to discuss this? And why would I want to discuss this, the week before Holy Week? So, I think there's a method to my madness here. This past Sunday, I had a bit of a soft Sunday morning. Father Dominic was presiding at the 9 a.m. Mass, and Deacon David was preaching all weekend. So I arrived here after the 9 a.m. Mass had started. And it's really the first time I've seen what this parking lot is like during Mass. And it was a bit of an obstacle course, but that's not the most significant thing. The most significant thing is that this past weekend, we hit record numbers in attendance. And I have the numbers written down. If you just give me a second here, I got it written down on a piece of paper. Because oftentimes we go to a particular Mass time, and that's the Mass time we go to. And we are, as a parish, really three different worshiping communities. But this weekend, we had 171 people at the 4 p.m. Mass. At the 9 a.m. Mass, we had 193 people. And that's, when I saw this parking lot, looked pretty crazy. 193 people. Well, at the 11 a.m. Mass, we had 391 people. Yes, seriously, for a total of 755 people. It's our biggest weekend yet outside of Easter and Christmas. Now, this is good news. There was a strong sense of the community at all of our Masses this weekend. And it's wonderful, to be growing, at least in terms of Sunday attendance. That's something. I saw what the parking lot was like at the 9 a.m., but we had more than doubled the number of people. Almost doubled, double the number of people at the 11 a.m. Mass. And I didn't look at the parking lot, so I have no idea what it was like. But it became evident that we've got to start a conversation around parking spaces, because we're very limited in parking spaces here. And the other thing that struck me at the 9:30 was, boy, if we ever had an emergency, if an ambulance or a fire truck had to get in here, we'd kind of be in trouble. Because I don't know if people were just like abandoning their cars anywhere they could find a space, because there were cars that seemed to be all over the place. I know that Father Johnny, one of the priests in the residence, he's brought this to my attention a few times, that occasionally on a Sunday morning he's gone to leave, because Father Johnny is in residence here, as are a number of other priests. They don't work per se in the parish, but they go to leave on Sunday morning. They have their cars in the garage here, and they open the garage door, and there are people parked right there where it says no parking. Now, here we are supposed to be good Catholics, and we're parking in the no parking spot. So I'm going to ask today that we respect the space here. for the priests, and that we do our best to not park where we're not supposed to park. Now that means we're going to have to get a lot more creative because we plan to continue to grow. That's the plan. But maybe we're going to have to do a lot of things differently. This back area behind the residence is a spot that usually has a few parking spaces that are not always taken. Now, at the 9 a.m. Mass, there was a car parked right here. And I'm not sure if these lines are meant to designate a parking spot. I don't think so because, again, it was strangely, it blocked the whole access point. So please keep this road clear. This parking space up on the hill by the parish center is available, so please take advantage of that. But I want to show you another place that you might not be familiar with, a place where you can park. We've got a secret parking lot. I'm going to show you. Come on. Now we're at the top of the hill, just behind the parish center, and you'll see another garage here. That's a very old garage. I think back in the days of horses and buggies. So feel free to park in front of that. And there are other parking spots right here. So you can make use of this space up here on a Sunday morning and park freely up here. But the secret parking lot is down this way, behind Churchill Academy. So here it is, folks. Now, I mean, it's not exactly, the parking lot for Sobeys or anything. That's the big grocery store. But there's probably room for about 10 or 12 cars here if we're creative in how we park. And I think in most Sundays, this space is empty when we have a crazy parking down in the main space. Now we own both of these buildings. This building here, the wooden one, is presently closed. We use it for storage, and it's kind of on hold exactly what we're going to be doing with these buildings. But I want to, in conclusion, just finish this topic. We have a future ahead of us. We plan to continue to grow as a parish, which means that we have to deal with the reality of parking. And so if there's any way that we can maybe be intentional about finding parking spaces further out, that we can be gracious to one another, gracious for the latecomers perhaps, for whom they don't have enough time to find a parking space. But if we can find somewhere maybe further back to park, or maybe carpool or find other solutions, because we're not going to be able to turn this into a parking lot anytime soon. So, another reason why I wanted to talk about parking and parking lots this week is because not only will we have a lot of cars, because we usually get a good attendance on Palm Sunday. I think it's something about the free stuff in Catholics, ashes and palms. It's always a good attendance. So there'll be lots of people, lots of cars. But the beginning of Mass next week is a procession. There's an initial gospel reading and a procession. And the initial gospel reading is going to take place on Sunday morning here at the old St. Peter's School gym, which is now the Churchill Academy gym. So please, when you arrive on Sunday morning for the 9 a.m. or the 11 a.m., park your car in a properly designated space and come on into the gym. And then we will process over to the church. So that's all, folks. It may seem like a kind of not the most exciting topic, parking, but think of it this way. The reason that it's a problem is because it's a blessing. God bless.